Another day, another wave of wild creativity from the Caffeine AI builders. Day 9 of the alpha saw even more energy than before, as developers across the internet computer community continue to build everything from casual games to community tools and ambitious platforms. What's coming out isn't always polished, but it's honest, fast, and full of personality. Some projects feel ready to use, others are more experimental, and most of them are getting shipped faster than anyone expected when this alpha began. Let's start with one of the most detailed builds we saw today. Before we get into it, quick reminder. If you would like to support what we are doing here at Ledger Life, there is a donation wallet address in the description. Every bit helps us keep documenting this wild open internet experiment. Now let's get into it. Let's start with one of the most detailed builds we saw today. Alpha Wharton dropped a game called Kingdom Clicker. It's an idle medieval game where players grow a peasant hut into a full-on fortress. The vibe is a little bit cookie clicker, a little bit Age of Empires, but what stood out wasn't just the gameplay, it was the workflow. According to the creator, it took around 5 to 6 hours to go from idea to working game. That's it. 5 hours. By the time it hit social media, it was already on version 24, with many of those updates focused on visuals and quality of life tweaks. He started by asking Caffeine to help flesh out the game idea and used Gemini to make sure the prompt was clean enough to avoid any security blocks. One key part of the prompt was asking for a flexible backend that could support future upgrades. That planning made it easier to layer in new features later. On the visual side, the creator used Uplink to swap out placeholder models. Instead of just accepting whatever Caffeine generated, he gave it specific links and asked it to rework the art accordingly. There is still work to do, balance, graphics, polish, but this kind of turnaround would have taken days, maybe weeks, using traditional methods. That same fast build energy showed up in a few other places too. Isaac Tevin shared a no-code onboarding platform for helping new users join the ICP ecosystem. The tool walks people through basic community interactions and eventually connects them to actual job opportunities. The whole thing was made without writing a single line of code. This is where the potential of Caffeine starts to become clearer. It's not just for devs, it's for people who have never touched a terminal but still want to build. That's our shift and it's happening fast. Another contributor, Caffeine AI, published CryptoWiki. It's a working live app that runs on the ICP network. It's clean, it works, it's usable today. The post didn't go deep into how the app was made or which prompts were used, but the fact that something that functional got made and launched during the alpha says something. Meanwhile, Rick Colley showed how remixing an existing dApp can lead to a brand new product. He built MicroFund. It's a trustless microfunding app by cloning another dApp and customizing it with just 3 prompts. One to change the logic behind campaigns, one to redesign the user interface, and one to add fiat and crypto support. That final product included currency selectors, login management, goal tracking, and even proof of donation options. It's not a stretch to imagine this being useful to anyone trying to fundraise in a decentralized way. What ties these builds together isn't just what they do, it's how quickly they happened. Fast doesn't always mean better, but it does mean you can try more things faster. Build, test, adjust, repeat. It's the kind of environment that encourages iteration over perfection. There was some nostalgia too. Left on Red tweets came through with a 2D shooter inspired by the classic arcade game Asteroids. It had progressive thrust mechanics, UFO upgrades, high scores, wave progression, the whole retro package. The look and feel were tuned to match the original, right down to how the ship moved and shot across the screen. It's a clear passion project from someone who probably grew up with games like this on a clunky 90s PC. And once again, it was built using the same tools powering everything else. That same creator also shared a second project. It's a tool inspired by DocuSign. While there weren't many details, it was positioned as a quick, secure document signing platform. We don't know yet if it's meant for individuals or businesses, but it's another example of how quickly serious ideas are becoming real working apps. On the community side, X2 World Tech released ICPedia. It's a decentralized encyclopedia focused on the ICP ecosystem. There wasn't much detail on content or structure, but the name alone tells you where it's going. If it evolves, it could end up as a key educational and reference tool for people trying to understand what's being built on the network. Another smart utility came from Trader Trev, who launched Feedback Loop. It's a gated feedback tool designed specifically for improving caffeine itself. It lets alpha testers send feedback, sorts that input by device type and category, and then routes it to the right place. Verified users can even moderate what goes through. It's structured enough to be reused for other communities too. And that's kind of meta, where caffeine powering a tool that makes caffeine better. Of course, not everything shared on day 9 was finished. Some devs just posted partial builds or asked for feedback. Others were transparent about bugs, unfinished UI, or problems they hadn't solved yet. That openness is becoming a recurring theme. Nobody is pretending this is a final product. Still, there is something real about how fast things are moving. Whether it's a throwback shooter or a crypto powered donation page, the fact that these builds are showing up in hours, not weeks, this is hard to ignore. Caffeine isn't perfect. Some prompts still break. Some assets still don't render properly. But for many users, this alpha is the first time they have ever shipped a working app. That's a big deal. It shows what can happen when the usual friction points like setup, deployment, formatting get stripped away. Over time, some patterns are starting to form. More builders are leaning into prompt engineering instead of deep code editing. Apps are clustering into a few main categories like games, education, productivity, community support, and tools like onboarding portals, encyclopedias, and feedback apps are showing up more often. It's still early days and nobody knows exactly where this is going. But for now, experimentation seems to be the main theme. Try something, break it, share it, fix it. That's what alpha is supposed to look like. What's also refreshing is the tone. Most of the builders are pretty honest about what works and what doesn't. Some are posting half finished demos, others are being upfront about placeholder graphics or skipped features. But everyone is trying, and more importantly, they are learning. Some of these projects may go on to become fully fledged apps, others might get left behind. That's fine. The point isn't always to build the next killer app. Sometimes it's about getting your hands dirty and figuring out what's possible. As we close out day 9, one thing is clear. Nobody is waiting around. They are building, testing, shipping, sharing, crashing, and building again. We'll be keeping an eye on day 10 and beyond. If you would like to explore these dapps yourself, the link is in the description. And if you are enjoying these updates, you can support the channel through our donation wallet, and that is also in the description. So catch you next time.